this is where mathematics starts. But we really start to get technical around the year about 1600 before the Common Era, which is about almost 4,000 years ago, where they find what's called the Amos Papyrus. And on this Amos Papyrus, one of the key terms on there states math, the key to unlocking all mysteries known and unknown. So on this document, yes, you do have trying to find the volume of a cylinder, volume of a pyramid. You have songs that try to help you remember some of these mathematical formulas. You have times tables, you have arithmetic, you have algebra. All of it is already laid down on this particular document. But look at how they describe it. They don't say math so that you can figure out some problems so you can complete the class and get an A. It says to unlock all mysteries known and unknown. So it didn't matter if it was cooking, it didn't matter if it was making heka or beer, or if it was trying to figure out how many parcels each person should get in order to get a fair share. How much land should I break off? And how do I measure this land? All these came out of necessity. And that's how important it is to everyday life, even today. Although we may be somewhat removed from those things, you still have to have a foundation of knowledge in math in order to really excel in our society. As we look at the top jobs and the most in-demand jobs, they all revolve around software, metaverse, Web3, web design, software design, coding, and they all involve numbers. So we just want to give you an idea of what we're getting into before we get into this next slide, which is some math myths. Okay. So one myth is that there are more students with reading disabilities than math disabilities. But if you really look at the numbers, they're almost identical. Because what we're starting to find out through the research is that math and reading disabilities really stem from a language disability. How do I process language? So if I'm attempting to set up a word problem, or I'm even attempting to set up a math problem, just to put 9 plus 3 together requires some form of language, okay, if I'm going to do math like that. But some people have difficulty doing that, especially when it gets more and more complex. Algebra, carrying, doing one side of the equal what I need to do to the other side of the equal. All these rules that come out later seems to be difficult in both students with reading disabilities and what we call math disabilities. So we can no longer say that there are more people with reading disabilities than math disabilities, because it seems to be about equal. People with specific learning disabilities usually display deficits in both reading and math.